What if humanity had everything it dreamed of, and it destroyed us? No work, no routine, complete freedom. But instead of happiness, there's an epidemic of depression. Instead of meaning, there's emptiness. Instead of freedom, there's a feeling of utter uselessness. Welcome to 2035. Artificial intelligence has taken away all routine. Cities run on their own, the economy is almost completely automated, and people receive a basic income that covers everything they need: housing, food, entertainment. Technically, it's paradise, but reality is cruel. The real world is boring, meaningless, and there's nothing to do in it. And people just exist. How did we get here? Why did a technological paradise turn into a mild psychological hell? What happens to a person when it's not freedom that's taken away, but necessity? When AI solves all problems, except one, the problem of meaning. The first alarm bells rang in the early 2020s. In 2023, the World Economic Forum predicted that by 2028, 83 million jobs would be destroyed and only 69 million created. Everyone kept saying, it's a transition period, people will retrain. But AI learned faster than humans. By the mid-2020s, white-collar workers were the first to fall. Not factory workers, as expected, but office workers. AI wrote code, analyzed data, and consulted with clients. Why maintain a department of 20 analysts when an algorithm can do a better job for next to nothing? By 2027, McKinsey estimates that 57% of work hours in the US could be automated right now. The technology is ready. All that's left is implementation, and companies have started. 44% of AI firms have openly announced plans for layoffs. Not optimization, but layoffs. By the late 2030s, unemployment in developed countries exceeded 30%. A third of professions have disappeared. The economy was expected to collapse, but governments introduced universal basic income, an idea discussed since the 1960s but never implemented before the riots. By the early 2030s, UBI had become the norm, a fixed amount for everyone, regardless of employment. The economy survived and people continued to consume. But an unforeseen problem emerged. In the 1970s, experiments with basic income took place in a working society. Your friends, neighbors, and family were working. By 2035, the system is gone. 60% of jobs have been replaced by AI, factories are autonomous, logistics are algorithmic, even creative people have been displaced by generative models. People are faced with something evolution had not prepared them for: the absence of necessity. The world doesn't need your efforts. You're not needed. By 2035, life has become incredibly convenient. Basic income covers everything you need. Entertainment is subscription-based, personalized for each user. AI assistants know you better than you know yourself. They suggest movies, music, and walking routes. Everything is perfect. But something's wrong. The human brain has evolved over millions of years in conditions of scarcity, the struggle for survival, and competition for resources. Our motivational system is built on overcoming. If you want something, you make an effort. But what happens when effort is no longer necessary? Psychologists call this the paradox of abundance. When a person has everything, they have nothing meaningful, because value is born through effort and scarcity. A 2022 study of workers whose jobs were automated by robots found that even with the same salary and title, they felt less autonomous, less meaningful, and less connected to their colleagues. Robots did jobs better, and people felt superfluous. Now scale this up across society. By 2035, people formally have freedom of choice. You can do whatever you want. Want to draw? Learn languages? Travel? The whole world is open to you. But in practice, this turns into paralyzing stress, because choice without boundaries and without necessity is not freedom. It is a vacuum. When there's no external pressure, no deadlines, no feedback on your actions, motivation evaporates. People are drowning in an endless stream of entertainment. TV series, games, social media, all available 24/7, tailored to their tastes, effortless. But the more you consume, the less enjoyment you get. Dopamine receptors burn out, content loses its value, and only one feeling remains: the world spins without me. If I disappear, no one will notice. In 2035, depression has become the norm, not the exception. According to the World Health Organization, in countries with high levels of automation, up to 40% of the population experiences symptoms of clinical depression or apathy. This is 3 times higher than in the 2020s. But this isn't just depression from unemployment. It's a new type of disorder, that psychologists call existential burnout. This isn't burnout from overwork, it's burnout from meaninglessness. When people worked, they had structure. Getting up at 7 a.m., the commute to the office, tasks, meetings, lunch with colleagues. Now there's no structure, and no one will scold you, no one will notice, and it's mentally devastating. Research shows that unemployment, even with financial support, correlates with depression, low self-esteem, and loss of social connections. Work doesn't just provide money, it provides identity. The answer to the question, who am I? And what will people answer in 2035? I'm nobody. This feeling of uselessness is compounded by the fact that AI does everything better than humans. AI composers write music that perfectly matches your mood. AI artists create masterpieces in seconds, and a person begins to wonder, why do I even exist? What can I do that AI can't? Answer, almost nothing. And here the psyche's last defense mechanism kicks in, an escape into illusion. So what happened in 2035? AI fulfilled its promise. It took away the routine. It freed people from work. It created a world of abundance where everyone has a roof over their heads, food, and entertainment. But it couldn't solve the main problem, the problem of meaning. Meaning is born through effort, through overcoming, through the feeling that you're making a contribution to the world, that someone needs you, that your existence matters. And when AI took away everything that gave that feeling, a void remained. World become paradise, where you have everything except a reason to wake up in the morning. But the question is this inevitable? Maybe not. Maybe the problem isn't AI. The problem is that we haven't prepared ourselves psychologically for this future. We've been building technology faster than we've been changing culture, education, and values. So what should we do? We need to rethink what it means to be human in a world where nothing technologically depends on you. We need to learn to construct meaning from within, not to receive it from without. We need to understand, freedom from necessity isn't the end of the road. It's the beginning of a new question, the question of why we exist at all. And if we don't find the answer, technology will find it for us. And we won't like that answer.